The strangest experience I've ever had at the radio station, back in the old days when I first started, I worked 4 to midnight, and back then we signed the stations off at midnight. So I had to play my little cart, looks like an 8-track tape, and for a lot of you, I can't explain it if you don't know what that is. There was a little cart that I played right at midnight that signed the station off officially and says, you know, we'll be back on the air in the morning at 5 o'clock. Have a pleasant day. This concludes our broadcast. And then I would leave this room, which back then was elevated about a foot, and this was the WSFC studio. And I would come around and I would go out to the transmitter and turn the filament off and the plate off and all that stuff and then get out of here. But one particular night I played the sign-off cart, and as soon as it ended, a sound came from this corner. There used to be a door here, and right in this corner, it sounded like a huge pane of glass shattered, and you could even hear the shards raining down. And I mean, I went straight to that corner. I'm thinking there's nothing glass here to make that sound. But I had to inspect because that's where the sound came from. And I looked all around. Back then, all of this was open. This was the big WSFC studio. Now we've subdivided it into 2 other studios and a workstation. I went out to the transmitters because back then our old transmitters had tubes. I thought, well, maybe one of those tubes exploded and shattered glass and everything. Nothing. I was so disturbed and not really wanting to leave the station without finding out the cause of the sound. I called our chief engineer at the time. That was Kenneth Chestnut. Wonderful man. Hated to wake him up, but I just didn't want to leave the station not knowing what I had heard. So I called. Yeah, I said, Kenneth, I can't explain this, but right after the sign-off cart tonight, I heard this huge shatter of glass, and I could even hear the shards raining down. It was so clear. And I said, I've been all over the station. I can't find anything that could have caused that. He goes, that's the station ghost. I said, yeah, okay, really? I've looked at it. He goes, no. He goes, is that the first time you've heard something? And I said, like that it is. He goes, you ever heard that walking around up in the attic? I said, I've heard noises up there. He goes, it's the ghost. Don't worry about it. Strange.